And Dr. Sabrina Jackson, actually, the person who suggested you, I looked at your profile and I said, oh my gosh, Dr. Sabrina is in Metro Detroit. I'm in Metro Detroit. We're like practically neighbors over here. So why don't we start with, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Why don't you start with giving us a quick introduction of who you are and what your business is all about?
Hi, I am Dr. Sabrina Jackson, and my tagline is that I am the people expert, as I help people with people, even if that person is themselves, because I say it all the time, is that people think it's someone outside of them that needs help, and it's really you needing help. And so I do that in a myriad of ways. I am a clinical therapist by trade. I'm a life coach, a business coach. I do executive coaching. I do speaking and training. I'm an author, and I have a media umbrella. So I do things locally here at Fox 2. In fact, I was on just this morning. I'm a contributor there. I've had my own segment on Fox 2 called People 911 with Dr. Sabrina, because people are in a state of emergency. And so I give people tips, tools, and strategies on how to deal with the relationships that they're in, and not just their love relationships, all relationships. So that's me.
Awesome. So I said, and this was kind of sprung on you. The person who reached out, I think it was Diane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And, I'm not sure how much she told you about the event, but we're doing a LinkedIn Live-a-thon here today. And this is kind of a 3-hour event. This is the 4th month I've done this in a row. And I just been bringing on different people with perspectives to offer the job seeker community. Okay. So I want to give the floor to you. We're going to be kind of in a staggered 5-minute. I think the next person is Terry. He's not on yet, so I'm going to probably move him a few minutes because I want to give you the floor for the next 5 minutes. Just to offer advice. There's people that are watching that are unemployed and in career transition here today. And there are also people who are working but looking, and they were kind of sheltering in place last year because of COVID, but they're now like, I got to get out. Yes. So what advice do you have for folks that are watching the video here today?
Well, the first thing that I would say to anyone that's watching is that there are 5 reasons why people fail at anything that they do, whether it's their job search, whether it's their job, whether it's their relationships. And the top 5 reasons, if you really grab a hold of them and know them for yourself and know how to navigate through them, you'll do extremely well looking for a position. So the first is coachability, because people who lack the ability to take and implement feedback, how do you get better? So always be open to learning something new. Be open to someone telling you something, giving you a tip, telling you how to maybe pivot differently. So make sure that you can answer the question, are you coachable? How do you take feedback? What do you do when you get feedback that you don't like? Because especially in the job space, someone may have to give you some feedback that you don't like. How do you take it? What do you do with it? So coachability is number 1. The number 2 reason why people fail at anything that they do is emotional intelligence. And that's when you lack the ability to control your own emotions, but then you don't accurately assess the emotions of the people that you're dealing with. And so especially in a job seeking situation, you should be able to kind of pan the response that you're getting, what you're talking about. Like, I love the person before me. Oh my God, he was amazing. And I love the examples because in those moments when you're storytelling, you can look at the expressions and say, I need to shorten this up. I need to keep it moving. And you should be able to control the emotion and let it go and flow the way that you need it to go. And so you don't want to be the type of person when it comes to emotions that people can't say anything to you, that if they say something that you don't like, that you become accusatory or you attack or you become aggressive. There's a difference between being aggressive and assertive. And so even in that interview, know how to bridge that conversation is a wonderful thing, and it causes you not to fail. The number 3 reason why people fail is a lack of motivation. What is the motive behind why you're even seeking the job? Why are you seeking the job there? Have you done your research to find out, is that a fit for you and a fit for them?
Oh, we just lost your volume, Dr. Sabrina.
You got me back?
Yep.
You have me
Sometimes
back?
we get little Wi-Fi hiccups. Usually I tell people in the pre-show, I'm like, if it hiccups, just hang out. But I'm kind of here to guide you. We can hear you again, though. We're good.
Okay, good. Somebody was calling. That's all.
That's the phone that does that.
And I don't understand, because I have it on Do Not Disturb, but people are still calling, so I don't understand it. But
we're like, I see you on live right now. No,
I'm on live.
Right.
So I tell my son all the time, it's wonderful for people to want you, but you have to want them too.
Right.
So don't just get it because you're desperate, or you're just like, oh, I just really need this job, but you really don't feel it. You're feeling in that session like, this is not going to work for me or them, because every time I've done that, it hasn't been good for them or for me. So make sure that you're motivated, and the motivation behind and the intent behind what you're doing is crucial. The number 4th is my favorite. It's my bailiwick. It's where I sit. It's the temperament style that you have. And so it's being able to understand that the temperament style has to match the environment as well as the position, because oftentimes when people are interviewing, they're interviewing for the position, but they may not be interviewing for the environment. And so what I mean by that is, say that you are going to do an interview to be a teacher, but you don't like children. Really? So you don't want to do something that doesn't match what you are. So if I know that I am a person that's vivacious, that's lively, I don't want to be sitting behind a desk not doing anything. So really assess and understand your personality type, how you're wired, why you do what you do, because then you can answer the question, what do people get when they get you? You should be able to answer that question succinctly. I know that I am dynamic, I am innovative, I am creative. Sometimes I don't like people telling me what to do. That's the honest to God's truth. And so that's why I moved into a space where I have my own company. But even with that, my clients still have to tell me and give me feedback. And so you really need to understand yourself. And in understanding yourself, you know that there's only 4 types of people. And I use color to describe the different personality types. Blue people are people. They love people and people love them. They wear their feelings on their sleeve. If they're happy, you know it. If they're sad, you know it. And they are the compassionate people. The next is gold. Gold people are organized, structured, dependable people. Everything has a place and it's in its place. They have a motto that says, if you are early, you're on time. And if you're on time, you're late. They love rules. They love them so much they want to make them. And after they make them, they want to enforce them. And then there's our green personalities. And green people are our heady people. They're the people who are the researchers, the fact finders, the data keepers. And they necessarily don't like people. They don't want to be around people. They don't want to do small talk. They don't care what happened on This Is Us this week. They just want to get to getting the work done. They're masterful problem solvers, and they rise to the leadership space because when they talk, you listen because they know what they're talking about. And then lastly are our orange personalities. And oranges are our rule breakers and risk takers. They are the life of the party. The party does not get started until they show up. And so they don't like routine. They don't like doing the same thing over and over again. They like flexibility. They like risk taking. They make wonderful salespeople because they are going to get in there and smooth and find out about the person and sell that thing to them. So you really need to know where you lie. And so I do have on my website, Essential Colors, a model that I've created where you can find out your type. And so you know how to communicate most effectively. And then the last reason that people fail is just the technical skills or the functionality of doing a job or doing a thing. And so I love this platform because you're offering opportunities for people to learn. You're offering opportunities for people to look at what they're doing and doing it a little differently. So it's very important that you do the functionality that's necessary to do what you're doing. Now, let me say this, and this is my last tip, is networking is necessary. Stop keeping things to yourself, thinking that, well, somebody might talk about me or somebody may have a negative thought. But just as a possibility of somebody thinking negatively, it's a possibility of somebody being positive. It's a possibility that someone has an opportunity for you that you didn't even know was available because you kept your mouth closed. It is the open mouth that gets fed. So tell people, tell your family members, tell your neighbors that, I'm out here looking, this is what I'm looking for. You have no idea where that next connection will come from.
Wow, you are awesome. And this was like, you didn't know up until like an hour ago that you're going to be coming on here today. And I feel like we could continue to the conversation. So much great information that you've shared with us all here today. Dr. Sabrina, are you open to invitations to folks if they wanted to connect with you on LinkedIn, if we send you an invite?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I am up for connections. Of course, I do have my website, essentialcolors.co. Take the M off, just CO, and people can go there. They can take the test and find out about themselves. But then also on my personal website, sabrinajackson.com. You can get to all my social media. If you want to sign up for a coaching session, you can do all of that right online.
Okay, I'm going to pull that up real quick here, and then I'm going to put your URL up on screen as well, just for folks so they can see that. And I know we've got a couple of other folks in the green room. I'll bring you guys on screen. Hold on just one second. Everything kind of, I had my one speaker, I was like, I had it perfectly aligned, and then everything kind of shifted by 5 minutes. I want to make sure we get through here.
Yes, you do.
And this as well. And let me just pull up your LinkedIn URL. Dr. Sabrina, thank you so much for joining. We really appreciate it. And if you're able to, we'd love it if you could jump on the live stream, because there may be some additional comments and questions that we didn't get to. And I can tell you're a wealth of information. So thank you so much for making yourself available on short notice here today. We appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you so much for the invite, and continue doing what you're doing, because you're doing an awesome job.
Oh, thank you. All right.